Hey everyone, it's your boy D Black. Welcome to the channel. As you know, coming to you raw and uncut. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave that comment. All right, the Royal Rumble. I was not disappointed. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of people out there saying that they were disappointed and the show sucked and all that other stuff. I didn't think so. I thought the show really it delivered, at least for me, in my opinion. You know, So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. And I didn't see a lot of surprises that Triple H said that there were gonna be. I mean, there was a couple of things and stuff like that, but it just actually really wasn't nothing that would make me say, "Oh my God, there's somebody." Oh my God, oh I didn't expect. None of that. You know, so there was a couple and stuff, but nothing really to jump up and do flips about and anything. So, all right, let's get started. We get started with the ladies' Royal Rumble. All right. Now, I thought it was pretty weird when Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss came out together and they just stood there, giving love and, things and stuff like that. The little love thing that they do, they're friends but not friends and stuff like that. And I think pretty soon that tag team is going to come to an abrupt end and everything. But it was a little weird for me for them to, have that done and stuff. But I don't know. You know, the match was okay. Um, I mean, you had people like Kiana James that came out. She was a little bit strong in the match. Nia Jax, man, basically did all her, things and stuff like that. There were some people who I thought probably shouldn't have been in, the ladies Royal Rumble and stuff. But for the most part, it was pretty good. When Lash Legend came in, Lash did her thing. She got rid of Charlotte Flair. She got rid of the Bellas, and she got rid of Io Sky, and I think there was somebody else that she got rid of, but I can't believe, I can't remember, who it was and stuff. But it was pretty good. It was pretty banging. Everybody got in there, doing their thing. Then it came down to the last three ladies that were in it. It came down to Sol Ruka, Liv Morgan, and Tiffany Stratton and stuff. I also thought it was pretty cool that Liv did get rid of she got rid of Raquel Rodriguez, and I say that to say this because Raquel Rodriguez, she's going to get her opportunity, next week in the Philadelphia Street fight with Stephanie Valkyrie, and I don't think that she should have won the Rumble and then get another shot at another title like that and stuff. Her opportunity is coming, so I can see Liv, eliminating her and then doing her thing and stuff. So it come down to Sol Ruka, Liv Morgan, and Tiffany Stratton. At first, I thought they all were going to eliminate each other when they came over the top rope holding it. Excuse me and stuff. But then, you get Soruka, she went up to go do something. I don't know if she was going to try to do a soul snatch to Tiffany Stratton and stuff, outside the ring from the corner. Not sure if that would have been the smart thing to do. But anyway, Tiffany, throws her off. And then Liv catches Tiffany Stratton and knocks her off the ring. And Liv Morgan finally wins a women's Royal Rumble. I mean, she's come up two times, in second place and stuff, but she actually finally won, a Royal Rumble. I thought it was pretty cool that Brie Bella was showed up. That was a pretty good thing, as far as Brie showing up. But other than that, that was the only thing that was different. Nobody really showed up that was not supposed to be there. I'm surprised that Bianca Belair didn't show up. Now that would have really gotten a good pop. I mean, Brie Bella, she got a pretty decent pop and stuff. She started doing the yes, yes, yes chanting and everything like that. And then, and the people were with her on that part. But I thought, maybe Bianca might show up and everything. But I guess, not. I don't know what's going on with Bianca Belair. but I'm going to actually look into it and find out, see what's going on with her and stuff. Then we get the match with Gunther and AJ Styles. This match was pretty brutal. Gunther beat the tar out of AJ Styles. I mean, AJ, he fought back too and everything, got some good in it, good stuff in there. But Gunther, once he started putting those chops in there, I mean, he was chopping, 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 just chopping AJ Styles down. And it was wearing down on AJ Styles. Then he would catch him in the chokehold, and, hold him and everything. And then AJ would finally get away. And then Gunther would put them elbows on him. And then he would put the chops on him and everything. So I could just say, Gunther, I mean, they're calling him the career, killer and stuff like that. And he has put down some pretty big names and stuff, and I hate it. He got AJ Styles into that sleeper hole and it was over, kind of almost like John Cena and everything. But the only thing that AJ Styles, he didn't tap out. He just went to sleep, you know, um, to the sleeper hole, chokehold, however you want to call it, And then it looked like AJ was going to put his gloves down, because, at that point, you figured that he lost the match, he's going to retire, and it was all over and stuff. But he took his gloves off, and then he thought about it, and he put his gloves back on. So I don't know if that was an indication that, hey, look, I'm going to come back. What he's going to do is he's going to go to TNA. And I'm hearing through the grapevine that he probably is going to be signing with AEW. So I look forward to seeing AJ there. I mean, he was with TNA. He did his thing in TNA. He's finished with the WWE. As I understand that his contract was running out here shortly. So this is why they had that match and everything. They probably couldn't come to no terms or agreement or anything like that. But now, from what I understand, that AJ Styles will be in AEW. When will he appear? I have no idea, but I'm sure it will be soon. Like to, Tommaso Ciampa. He just debuted last week, so we'll see. And then we get the match, and Gunther wins that match with the Choco Sleeper. Then we get the match with Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. Now this one was pretty good too. I mean, both matches were pretty good and stuff. This one even was, I thought, was even a little bit better. I mean, sooner or later, Sami Zayn, maybe, I doubt it now, because Sami's had his time. He's been in a couple of matches. He's not going to win. I don't think he's going to ever win a title shot. Most he's going to get is one of the mid card shots. I don't know if Sami. I don't get it. Sami's good though. He's good in the ring. And I don't know. I mean, Sami took a lot of punishment in this in this match. He took like 3 future shocks, and he kicked out of the 3 future shocks. Then he catches a Claymore, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, Sami was actually catching him. I mean, he did catch Drew McIntyre with a Haluna kick and stuff. And when he did that, I thought it was over, but nope, it was not. Drew kicked out of it. And then Drew just went crazy after that. He took Sami Zayn and he bounced him off the announcer's table and stuff like that and everything. It it was it's sad to see Sami not win this match and not get a title shot and everything. But hey, look, some of us will get it, some of them won't and everything. But it was another Claymore. And Sami got pinned down for the 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins the match and everything, and then Sami just will fight to see another day and stuff. We still got the Elimination Chamber coming up. Will Sami Zayn be a part of the Elimination Chamber, get in there, and probably win the Elimination Chamber? I don't know yet. We're gonna see who how that happens and stuff, And then Drew, Some tells me that there's going to be a triple threat match for this, and it's going to be Drew McIntyre with Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu. I feel that that's coming up in the future because Drew seems to be hell bent on attacking Cody Rhodes. And it's just crazy how this is happening. And Cody is going after Jacob Fatu and stuff. So it's just crazy. So we're gonna see what happens there, down the road. And then we get the men's Royal Rumble and stuff. You get the debut of Obafemi and everything. I mean that's good for him. I'm glad that he got he's getting this opportunity. See how they push him and everything like that. See if he's going to get a good push. Hopefully they don't destroy him and stuff because now they're saying the future. He's one of the futures of the industry. But we're going to have to wait and see how that happens and stuff. Then we get Braun Breaker coming out. He was the number 2. And that's why Paul Heyman was so upset during the before program and stuff with Adam Pearce and stuff. You think Adam Pearce, kind of threw something and everything that made Braun Breaker be able to, to come out, the second against Obafemi and stuff like that. But Braun Breaker never reaches the ring. Some guy in the black hoodie, comes down and he attacks Braun Breaker and he beats him up. I think it could be Austin Theory who did that, I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. Could be wrong. Could have been, something else. I don't think it was Seth Rollins because the person didn't move like Seth Rollins would be moving and stuff like that. So there's some craziness that happened. But Braun Breaker, once he got thrown back in the ring, Obafemi, clotheslined him and takes him out of the action and stuff. And this too, the men's Royal Rumble, it was pretty good. I can't really tell you who eliminated who and stuff. I can kind of tell you who what happened a little bit and stuff like that. Trick Williams, he did his thing, coming down to the ring. He showed up, he showed out for the most part, with him. And then everybody else is, and I don't get the fact that the 2 El Grande Americanos. I know one now is Chad Gable, and the other one is Ludwig Kaiser and stuff, and they battled and stuff, and everything. So we're probably going to get to see the El Grandes, have that kind of match. I don't know how that's going to end up. Is they going to have whoever loses unmasked or something like that? I don't know, but that was kind of crazy. And then we get Powerhouse Hobbs. He didn't come do anything. I mean, he came in as Royce Keys and stuff and absolutely did zero. I thought Powerhouse Hobbs would come in there and at least eliminate a whole bunch of people. He got rid of a couple of people and stuff. I think it was the Iguana guy and somebody else. But and then we have La Parker. Why was La Parker in here? La Parker, man, I mean, La Parker's been around for some time. I'm surprised he didn't have a stroke in the ring. But anyway, and then he gets eliminated too. And I think that's who Powerhouse eliminated was him and the Mr. Iguana and stuff, And then Powerhouse Hobb, he gets eliminated. And I think it was Brock Lesnar that did that. There was no surprise show ups and everything as far as the men's, Royal Rumble was concerned and stuff. It came down to Gunther, Randy Orton, um, and Roman Reigns and Logan Paul. And it was pretty interesting. I was surprised Logan Paul, he hung around for a while and everything, but he did the bad thing and, turned his back and he got nailed for it. And Roman Reigns put him out. But then Roman Reigns, I thought, and then Randy Orton too was at the end. Also, Randy Orton was in that mix too. And Randy Orton RKO's Roman Reigns, and I just thought he was going to get picked up, and either Gunther was going to eliminate Roman Reigns, whatever the case may be. But I was hoping that Gunther wouldn't have beaten AJ Styles and then come and win the Royal Rumble. That would have been crazy, that man, because he would have been talking all kind of smack. And we know that Gunther is not all that and stuff. Yeah, they say that he is the career killer. You know, we'll see what happens down the road of who his next opponent may be as far as that is concerned. But anyway, it ended up, Gunther and Roman Reigns, and then Roman Reigns was able to eliminate Gunther. And it was pretty funny that Roman Reigns eliminated Jay Uso and stuff. So I mean, there were some people who've turned on each other and stuff like that. I mean, Javon Evans, he did his thing in here also too. So I mean, but they gave it to Roman Reigns. I mean, I'm not mad that they gave it to Roman Reigns, but I think if they're going to be pushing new people, and I'm not saying this. I mean, I'm saying this for the guys, and I'm saying it for the women. You know, I didn't expect Oberfemi to win this the Rumble because he is just now getting to the main roster, and I'm glad that Roman Reigns won. Hopefully he can get back on there because right now he's the only one as far as older wrestlers, you know, that's still good in the ring and stuff. So let's see how that happens, how they bring up all some of this new talent, that's coming up and everything. It's starting to make things that make sense because, SmackDown and Raw has definitely not been making a lot of sense. The writing, the creativeness has been bad. There's no really good storylines of anything that's happening and stuff. I mean, if you agree with me or disagree with me, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment and stuff. And I thought, as far as the women were concerned, and stuff, even though it was Tiffany Stratton, she's back now, and Liv Morgan, who won, and then Soruka, because I think Soruka right now is probably gonna, you know, be seen a lot more. I think Kalani Jordan, I think it's her time to shine also. Some of these ladies like Lola Vice who came up on here, you know, um, I think they should start getting their time to shine and everything. And I'm really surprised about, Kiana James. I know she was good, but she showed out a little bit, as far as, the Rumble is concerned and stuff. Zelina, I think it's time for her to be gone. Julia, I don't even know what's going on with that because she's really not that great in the ring. But I mean, we'll see what happens as far as, creative and how they put all these young ladies together, and the men and make the product good. I love wrestling. I really do. And I just hate to see how things are starting to happen with it. I mean, Royal Rumble, actually, this was a good Royal Rumble. It wasn't really that bad and stuff. It was predictable and stuff, of the outcomes and everything. But other than that, it was still good. I'm not complaining. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there complaining and said that the show is horrible and stuff like that, but I'm not going to give that. I love wrestling. I want it to get better, and I'm hoping that soon Triple H may get fired. Hopefully he does, and somebody gets in there, that knows what they're doing, and so we can get some good storylines and get back to some good wrestling and stuff. But with that, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave that comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're thinking and stuff. So, thank you for watching. God bless, deuces, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.